On February 21st, 2012, on the eve of national elections, the feminist punk rock collective known as Pussy Riot appeared at the altar of the Cathedral of Christ the Savior in Moscow and performed a song critical of Vladimir Putin. In the following weeks, 3 members of the band were arrested by Russian authorities. They were held without bail for 5 months while awaiting trial on charges of hooliganism, which carries a possible sentence of 7 years in prison. Such a stunt would surely have gone unnoticed outside of Russia, but for the heavy-handedness of the Putin government's response, which has drawn worldwide attention. On July 28th, a small but vocal group of supporters gathered outside the Russian embassy in Washington, D.C. for a protest organized by Amnesty International to demand the release of Pussy Riot.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. This is a huge turnout, considering that there was a forecast for thunderstorms. Fortunately, we have a lot of sunshine, but we have a lot of really loud people. So my name is Jiba Mansky. I'm from Amnesty International. Amnesty International has been working on this case to free Pussy Riot, and we're amazed at the support that we have today from local activists, from the DC punk community, tons of people out here, and tons of people around the world standing up to free Pussy Riot. So that's a little bit what I want to talk about for just a second, is why we're here. Pussy Riot is a punk collective in Russia, and recently, on February 21st, members of Pussy Riot participated in an action where they sang a song in a Russian Orthodox church. For that, they've been charged with hooliganism, and they're facing 7 years, up to 7 years of prison time. Those three members are being held right now in pretrial detention for the next 3 months. Until January. Their names are Maria, Nadezhda, and Katerina. So that's why we're here today. These are human beings. These are human rights. That's what Amnesty International stands for. That's what activists who call themselves human rights activists stand for. That's why we're here. And 3 things that we're here for, right? We're here to demand their release. Immediate and unconditional release. The second thing, The second thing that we're demanding is that their charges of hooliganism immediately be dropped. And then the third thing is that they need to investigate threats that have been coming at these women and at their families. All of these are human rights concerns, and that's why we're here today. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, this is Dave. That's Leia. We are part of Brenda. Brenda was gonna play tonight, but we were denied. Like Pussy Riot was denied. But we're still here. And today, we decided that we're not going to be Brenda, we're going to be Pussy Riot. Because anyone can be Pussy Riot whenever they want to be. They just have to use their civil liberties to the fullest. And that's what we're trying to do today. Okay? I guess I just want to tell the truth. I didn't know who Pussy Riot was until we were asked to play. I didn't know. I hadn't investigated it. But once I started finding out, my music started to change. And I'm glad that I'm here now. And I'm glad that I've changed. Changing. I hope that we're all changing, realizing how lucky we are to be able to do this. Not everyone can. But if we keep it up, I think the
I want to make a commitment to Putin and anyone keeping Pussy Riot hostage right now that at every single show I do from here on out, I will wear my balaclava until they... I don't know about dress and drag at everyone, but maybe half of them. But I will definitely wear my balaclava, even though it's hard to play guitar, at every show until Pussy Riot is released. If that's 7 years, that's gonna suck, but I'll do it.
I'm very loud. So I'm going to try to be even louder than usual because the people who are inside this building need to understand that people are watching around the world. And if Vladimir Putin wants to pretend to be a world leader worthy of recognition or respect, he should act like it. I have to say, I think it's very strange that I have to stand in front of the Russian embassy to talk about something like this. I'm old enough so that I know all about what happened in the Soviet Union. That was supposed to be in the ash bin of history. Unfortunately, we have our friend being in quotes, Vladimir Putin, former KGB, running Russia and running it straight back towards the Soviet model. I grew up in the DC punk scene, and we've had a few run-ins with the authorities over the years. In fact, back in 1987-88, the FBI was on our tail for putting up some posters that insulted the Attorney General, Edwin Meese. I don't know if you know about this. You don't really need to know about it, but they said Meese is a pig. Now, my main problem with that is I actually have an awful lot of respect for pigs. Thank you. And nonetheless, in the midst of all sorts of tremendous challenges in the world and genuine threats, somehow the FBI was set loose to pursue those of us who put up these posters, which seemed ludicrous. And then what happened was that the Washington Post wrote about it. And all of a sudden, all of these police forces, the FBI and the Secret Service and the DC Metro Police and the Arlington Police, who were harassing myself and the other organizers from Positive Force in the DC punk community, backed off. They were embarrassed. And their repression spread the news around the world. Now, there's a difference between what happened to us and what's happening to Pussy Riot, and actually what's happening to so many voices of freedom and truth in Russia, which is we were never in danger for our lives. Let me just say that I was also there when an organization called the Riot Girl, a movement, got started. And clearly Pussy Riot's been very inspired by Riot Girl. And it makes me happy to see. I mean, I was somebody who was really inspired and challenged by Riot Girl. But let's look at what's happened here. A band has gone into a church and performed a song. They are trying to exorcise the ghost, the specter of Vladimir Putin, which is overshadowing the hopes of the Russian people, which is drowning them out. Now, whatever they've done. Okay, so we're going to have to cross the street in a moment. Before we do, I'm just going to say that the fact that Pussy Riot is in prison for what they've done is ludicrous. It makes Vladimir Putin look very scared. It makes him look very small. It makes him look as if he realizes he has no legitimacy kind of finish up, I'm glad to chat with the folks who are essentially heckling me while I'm talking, because I'd like to converse with you. I'd rather not converse while I'm trying to talk to other people, but so be it. However, I will say that I have been making statements against the U.S. government far more inflammatory, far more long-lasting, far more radical, if you will, than Pussy Riot, and I have yet to be put in prison like they are. That suggests something, which is we got lots to do here, but let's not confuse what's happening here with the dangers that other countries face.
Thank you everyone for coming here tonight, despite this grizzly weather and the bureaucratic antics of our city government that reminds some of the antics of Putin's government. But I'm here not to talk about our own misdoings of DC government, but to talk a little bit about Putin and Pussy Riot as a cultural phenomenon. Because it is very interesting that in 2000, when Putin came to power for the first time, immediately upon becoming a president, he sent a word in artistic and media and musical circles saying, "Don't fuck with me." And meaning by that, I don't like jokes. If you're gonna make fun of me, then I'm gonna fuck you up. And that's how it was for the first 8 years of Putin's administration. There was very little anti-Putin humor. And if there was any anti-Putin humor at that time, it was pretty much underground. And then, when Medvedev came to power for next 4 years, there appeared a little bit of anti-Putin humor, just tiny little bit, still mostly on the internet and very little in the press. Then when finally Putin re-elected himself for the third term, there was a small explosion of anti-Putin humor, especially on the Russian internet. But there was nothing comparable in its power and honesty and its bravery and originality to what these women from Pussy Riot have done. And look at the reaction of the government and why there is such a reaction. It's because they represent the most terrifying for the authoritarian regime type of art, that is satire. Remember what Hitler has done to satirists in Germany by throwing them into Nazi death camps, satirists, comedians and cabaret artists. Remember what Stalin did to satirists by destroying a whole generation of satirical writers and poets in Russia. Authoritarians fear satire as nothing else. There's probably no other art form that shakes them to their foundation. And another important thing about Pussy Riot is that men humorists, men satirists are able to get away with political humor, even in Russia. Their own comrades from art collective Vaina, to which Pussy Riot belonged at one point, after they conducted an unthinkable antic in St. Petersburg by overturning a police car. Not setting it on fire, but just overturning. But think if we would just overturn a police car here today, what would happen? You would not see freedom for a long time. These men were free and cleared of all charges. And 3 girls of Pussy Riot are in jail for many months and looking at 7 years prison term for 45-second long performance. 45-second long performance. So, I mean, you could see the justice and you can see the gender justice, how it works here. And, well, this regard, I just want to say, I hope to see that soon enough that the pressure of musical community from around the world and intellectuals from around the world will make Russians do what they always do best: get scared and let the Pussy Riot free. Svoboda Pussy Riot!
I'm here today to support artists who saw that shit's really fucked up and they spoke out using their art. And now they're in a totally fucked up situation. And we need to speak out. The arts community needs to speak out to say that this is not right. And it's our obligation as artists and as arts organizers and as an art community to stand behind them. And especially in our nation's capital, a place where we have an even higher obligation as artists who choose to live in this place where we can actually make a difference. Our voices can actually be heard. We can actually stand in front of the Russian embassy and have them hear us. And I feel like our message can be even heard more widely and loudly because of where we are. So that's why as artists, we have the obligation to say so. And so I hope that all of you, whether you're artists or not, join together as a community because art does have the unique ability to show people not only what's good in the world, but also what's bad in the world and what must be changed. So thank you all for coming here and for supporting this amazing cause.
So I want everybody to take a look at these photos. These are the people that we're fighting for. These are the people that we're out here for, right? So we need to take that pledge one more time. We need to commit to continuing to fight until we free Pussy Riot! Free
Pussy Riot!
Free
Pussy Riot!
free!
Pussy Riot!
It doesn't end here. Please continue to take action. You can go to amnestyusa.org/Pussy Riot. Take action online. Share that on your Facebook page. Tweet about it using the hashtag Pussy Riot. Let everybody know. This is still just the beginning of this movement. We're not going to stop until they're free.
Что у тебя идет кровавый? Иди на урок, принеси ему денег! Патриарх Гудя и верит в Путина лучшего бога, сука!